you shut that door? Will you shut the door? There you go. All right. This is the Everyday Monet. My name is Tiffany. Tonight we're going to work on a wheelbarrow. So I just mixed a little bit of metallic with some black and a little tiny bit of gray. So we're just going to jump right in here. So I, sketched the canvas ahead of time. So, because I have a party tomorrow night and this is what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to go ahead and make the video tutorial. It won't go live until after the party. So this will just go in the tutorials library. Anyway, I hope everybody had a great weekend. I know I did. It was way too short. I had a paint party in the Metroplex with my sister and some of her friends and my Keno group. So my weekend was very short. It's about a 2.5 hour drive there for me. And then we painted and then we played Keno afterwards. So yeah, so my weekend was pretty much eaten up with that, but it was fun. It was nice to get away. Let me know in the comments if you have, like your little crew that you do your stuff with and, kind of have a little fun with. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move this over here and rinse this out a little bit. All right, here. And I'm not real crazy about this off-white background, so I'm going to go back over it with a little bit of gray. I'm hoping that's not a mistake, but if it is, it's just paint. Just paint. And again, guys, like I said, I just got back. I've got paint everywhere from the paint party this weekend. So just kind of, bear with me. Oh, there's my water. There's my water. So I'm just going to go over this just a little bit. I'm not real crazy about that, so we're going to add a little bit of white over here. And we're going to mix our gray, make it a little bit lighter. Okay, so I'm going to put some more over here. And if you know me, I measure real precisely right here. Just a little bit of this, some of that. And we're going to call it a day. Okay. All right. Again, don't like it? Paint over it. Okay, that's better. There we go. All right, and because this is a little bit darker than that tan, we have to, behave now. Get through these lines. Oops. Get through the lines a little bit. Yeah, I want just a little more light to this. And I will fix that. I'm not worried about it yet. Y'all don't, if I'm not worried, y'all don't need to worry, okay? And I'm not worried. Anyway, for those of you who have not been here before, welcome. I'm glad you stopped in today. My name is Tiffany. I am the owner of the Everyday Monet. Why the Everyday Monet? Well, because while I can paint extremely well, as far as, like the fine art aspect, I prefer the fun art at this point in my life. Now, there was a time when I preferred the fine art, and I do appreciate fine art, but I'm just not in a season of my life where I have the time to dedicate to fine art right now. I am a mom of a gaggle of children, ranging from age 31 all the way down to 10. And so that doesn't leave me with a lot of time to just, do whatever I want to do. However, I do also want to brag on, well, one, my kids are fantastic, but I have the most perfect grandkids too, okay? So they occupy a lot of my time. By my choice, obviously. But that's my first priority in life is my family, okay? Gotta have my family before my job, before hobbies, before, anything other than Christ, my family. All right. So I'm sure there will be another day when I go back into my love for fine art and creating fine art. But right now we're all about the fun art, okay? That's what we're here for. And the name Everyday Monet. Well, so the fun art that I like to produce and like to teach is not really, okay, so it's not going to be realistic painting. It's going to be more fantasy, more of an impressionistic, not in the traditional sense, but more in the style of, you know what it is, but it's not going to be exact. If you understand that, just kind of, you get the gist of it, but no one's going to say, oh my gosh, that looks like, I thought it was a portrait. It's not going to happen, guys. Sorry, that's not what I'm teaching you here. I'm teaching you fun art. And, what the everyday person can do. That's why the Everyday Monet. Okay? All right, a little bit more. And another technical term, just a little bloober right here of white. Don't need a lot. I'm going to lay it down right there to get the bottom of it. So my art is not, is not going to be something that should be anxiety producing. If it is, either you or I are doing something wrong, or maybe it's both of us. I never want my classes to be filled with anxiety or to bring doubt to anyone. I want my classes to, teach you, but make you feel better about yourself and about your skills. Not make you feel like, oh my God, I can't even do fun art. No. Because if your painting looks just like mine or just like the person sitting next to you, it's not your painting. It's a picture you painted to look like somebody else's painting, okay? And then your personality is not going to show through it. And that's, you want to be able to tell a lot from your painting. Okay, so we are just about done with this section right through here. I apologize for the quiet. Actually, I don't apologize for the quiet. I'm enjoying this quiet. But I will say, let me just go over this real quick instead of trying to get between every one of those spokes. Okay. There we go. Get right up there. Okay. So let's get that. Anyway, back to the main thing here. So I am Tiffany. I'm glad you're here, and we're gonna get this going. Okay. Well, cracker on a stick. Here we go. Let me know in the comments if this is your first time here. I'm not going to do anything mean to you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and make some fence panels down through here, and we're just going to take our little brush. It's the medium size one here. This one is a 1/2 inch, okay? It's just a flat, and you don't have a lot on here. So I'm just going to take it and just kind of go down through here. It's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. All right, let me pull my sleeves up here. And we're going to do the same thing right in here. And then go all the way down, okay? Hopefully you have steadier hands than I do. But this is an old fence, so, the neighbor's dog's been peeking through it a couple of times. Oops. we go. And scoot on over here. And don't worry guys, I'm not leaving it all crack-handed. Okay, and the last one right down through here. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to take that same brush I just used and dry it back off again. And it's still got some, still got a little bit of paint in it. So I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to get a little bit wet. And then I'm just going to kind of go down through here like this, just to soften those up. Now, if you want to leave them, you can. I just want mine a little bit softer. And, it's a personal preference. It's not, but you got to be careful for that. Okay? Go ahead and get that off of there. Again, if I don't panic, you have no reason to panic. Okay? Because look what I can do right here. I just go right in through here, touch this up, and I can go back over it in a minute. And we're good to go. Alright, so let me go ahead and I'm going to soften this one up here just a little bit more. Okay. Let's go right through here a little bit. There we go. And see, there's going to be a lot of flowers around the top, so any little imperfections up here is not going to be an issue. Alright. Let that sit for just a second. Let me get this metallic silver down here. Oh man, hope y'all had a great weekend. Sorry, I'm running out of this one right here. All right. Hopefully we can get a little bit more out of here. There we go. All right, so we're gonna take this. And guys, if you're looking for a fine art place, no, I'm not gonna be it, especially today. There we go. A little bit more. So I'm just going back over here, just kind of adding some of this metallic in here. Because remember, this is a wheelbarrow, so it's probably going to be, the shiny, silvery, parts of it in it. It's going to look new at some parts, but it's kind of like a pickup truck. If it looks too new, you're not using it enough. You're not doing enough work. There we go. Get just a little bit down here. A little bit more of that. Oh, poop. Okay, well now I have a lot more down here. Let me go ahead and so let me know, what is your favorite style of painting? So my absolute favorite to appreciate and to look at and to purchase is impressionistic. I love it. My favorite to create, I have to say, is probably more of a modern and fantasy. And it's not the kind of art that I like to look at, but that's just what comes out of me. Just is what it is, After a while, I'll stop fighting it. Okay, we're gonna let that sit for just a second. I'm gonna go ahead and close this up and go to the other part. Let's see. So I need, where's my burnt sienna? Let me put the lid on this before I spill this, guys. Okay, so I need to get some, gotta get a little bit of white, if I can get this done. There we go. So we're gonna take, this is just a regular day, a little bit of white. tissue over there. Okay, and then find my burnt sienna. But I also needed the phthalo green. So here's my green here. Alright. Kind of knead this up a little bit. Okay, just a tad bit of that. Okay. What is this one? That is my burnt umber. I need a little bit of that too. I gotta find my sienna. It's up here somewhere, guys. It's not too far. I had it last night, so that's party stuff. It's up here somewhere. Let's see. There it is. Ah. All right, so let's get these shaken up a little bit. Here's my raw sienna. A little bit more. There we go. And then I need a little bit of the raw umber, or the burnt umber, excuse me. Okay, now. Just gonna mix this up just a little bit. Now the green kind of tones it down a little bit, but it's a phthalo green, so it's going to give it just a little bluish tint to it. It'll make it kind of, not really foresty, but kind of like right before spring hits. Real good. Kind of the dead grass coming to life kind of look. That's the best way I know to describe that. Okay. So let's see what we have here. Oh, not you. Alright. So we're going to take a little bit of this, and we're just going to go down through here. There's not a science. Just is what it is. Okay? Just getting that bottom layer on. There's several layers in this painting that, you know, deserve to have their day. So we want to get all that on there. There we go. And the nice thing about this is because a lot of the paints that I'm using on here, I water down quite a bit because I want more of a wash than a vivid pigment. So that helps them dry extremely quick. It's like this gray here and the white that we just finished. It's already done, people. It's finito. Alrighty. This edge right here. Now I'll go back and finish the sides of my canvas. I'm not worried about right now. This is just going to be my example for tomorrow night. So it's really not that important that it's, you know, all styled and framed, situated. It's not so much staged as just the example. Okay. And the unfinished edges would drive me crazy anyway. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay. So I need just a little bit of umber. Or sienna, excuse me. And my burnt umber that I just had in my hand. Seriously. Holy smokes, man. I'm really holding. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to get this little bitty guy here. It is a super small liner brush. And it is really, really small. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and twist through there a few times just to get it nice and saturated. Okay. I'm just gonna flip it through here, just randomly. Not gonna go too crazy. So we did some porch cleaners this weekend at a paint party. Let me know in the comments if you've ever done a porch cleaner, or excuse me, door hanger. And if you did you enjoy that more than a painting canvas, or do you not have anything to compare it to? Just kind of let me know where you stand on that. Okay, so we're just barely going through here, just adding just a few, okay? I'm not going to go crazy on it. Now I'm going to go ahead and go with the darker. Now with the darker, I'm not wiping off any of the others, you know, the other paints that were here. But I do want to, you know, make sure that it gets a little bit down through here. So we're going to go on down through the bottom. There we go. So just a little flecks here and there. Again, just, you know, small amounts, nothing dramatic on this. Again, this is the bottom layer, so we're not worried about it. And see right here, I put a little bit more on there than I wanted, but I'm not going to be concerned because the guys, I'm sorry about all the traffic coming in and out of here tonight. I apologize. Okay, so we're going to brush that out a little. Alright, so now I need to get a little of the black. We're going to go ahead and start on the legs of the wheelbarrow a little bit, okay? And I'm just going to mix just a little bit of the black. I'm sorry, let me wipe this off. A little bit of the black in with that burnt sienna. So just, you know, maybe a little bit more than that even. Just mix that up. So I just put a little bit of this black in this burnt sienna. Raw umber, I'm so sorry. I see the burnt sienna right here, or raw sienna right here in front of me, and I just keep getting kind of crazy. Okay. So we're just going to take, we'll go with this little fella right here. And we're going to get the back one first. So that'll be this one right here. Okay. We're going to go right up here to this edge. And then we're going to come straight down. And it kind of bends right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do the thinner end and then come up in it, okay? And then we're going to do the second one. Let's see, it comes up this way. So let's go ahead and get this part of it as well. And guys, remember, don't panic as you're painting. You know, when you get ready for a night out on the town, you don't start out gorgeous, do you? You gotta do a little spackling, a little hair, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Well, it's the same thing here. You gotta let it all come together. And it does. It's sometimes, especially if you're not an experienced artist, or if this is a different medium for you, it can be kind of scary. I get it. Okay, so we come right down through here. There we go. So we're going to let that one sit for a minute. Now we're going to add a little bit more right up here because I don't like how my little gap here. Okay, there we go. And I just took some of that paint off. That doesn't need to come off just yet. There we go. All right. Now we're going to go ahead. I'm going to try to see where that wheelbarrow is. Let me find. I have no other canvases out here with me. So let me just kind of peek around here. So then it comes down about right here. I'm just going to kind of go down through here. Okay, is the front of it. And then let me try to darken this up just a little bit here. I'm running here. And then I'm going to say the middle of the spoke is going to be right here. Okay. And then let's go all the way around here. Get a little bit more on here. All the way around. And again, I'm not worried about, you know, how it looks right now. I'm just trying to kind of make it, get the placement. Okay. There we go. And kind of get it to go around a little bit more around there. And so we'll, you know, round that out, but that paint right there is extremely wet. Now, there is another, let's go ahead and get the spokes on here. So let's just go here, and then straight across here. And guys, remember, this is interpretive painting. This is not, you know, realistic painting. Straight across here. And then one right here. And we'll go right across there, okay? This needs to come on down. And there'll be another one that comes right through here. I'm gonna go ahead and close this circle here. But the front one comes down through here, but we don't wanna paint that one just yet because it's lighter. It's not gonna be the same. See, this one is the back, and it's going to be in the shadow a little bit more, so it's going to be the darker one. All right, so let's go ahead. Let me get a drink here. And we'll round this out. You know, it won't look like, you know, the hoopty when we're done. Or maybe we will, but if it does, it'll be intentional, okay? So just don't panic just quite yet. Okay. Umber. Yes. I need to mix just a little bit of this with some white to do the other one, okay? So I'm going to come right over here. Let's see if I can mix that in. It is warm in here tonight. I don't think my fan's on me. Okay, I think I need a little bit more of the burnt umber, so I'm going to steal just a little bit from right here. Oh, there's a little bit more. I'm going to take it from right there. No, not dark enough. A little bit more. We'll just take the rest of it. A little bit more. Okay, I think I'm going to be happy with that now. Maybe. Sorry, guys. Just looking for just a little bit darker, so I'm just going to go ahead and put just a tad bit more in there. I don't want it as dark as what we've been using because, you know, it's not going to be in the shadows, and this is going to be a little bit lighter because the light's touching it, yada, yada, yada. Okay, there we go. Okay, I can live with that. So we're going to go ahead, come straight on down here. Okay, don't worry about your straight lines right now because you're going to come back and clean it up. This is just your initial stroke here. We're just trying to, you know, get placement. There we go. Alright, now I can come back up here and kind of scooch it up because my gray is still not completely dry. I don't want to play with it just too much yet. It's still just not as bright as I want it, or as dark as I want it. Okay, hopefully that's better. So we're going to go ahead, oops, way too much paint on that brush. And you want to remember, your tools are only going to work for you as good as they are. You know, if you're buying, you know, dollar store ones, you're not dollar store equipment, that's fine until you know that this is going to be something that you really enjoy. But don't expect, you know, to paint like Picasso if you are not using, you know, quality tools. Can you paint well with any tools? Yes, you can. But like anything else, your tools make a huge difference in the quality of your work and in the ability of your work. Okay. Now that's not to say, you know, you can't do something great with less than, but you know, I just want to be honest with you. Okay. Let's get this right down through here. Let me get my little lino brush. Nope. Nope. Where'd my lino brush go? Right there. And I just want to fill in these gaps up here. Okay. And then come right down here and do the same. Okay, there we go. And this right here is still wet with the green, so I'm just gonna kind of avoid it right now. Otherwise, we could make just a muddy mess, and no one's gonna be happy with it, especially me. Okay, so we're gonna go right up on here. Now, take that same brush, kind of wipe it off a little bit, and we're gonna go over here in this darker, over here that we used on this, and we're gonna touch up. I'm gonna go ahead. Make those seamless up there, okay? There you go. And we'll do the same over here, just kind of there. All right, now we still need to do this front piece right here, but we're gonna let that dry just for a second. And we're gonna go over here and we're gonna work on this handle a little bit. You know, we want more of a wood look than a creamy color. So, now, you know, we're not going to try to do wood grain in here. No. That's not in the wheelhouse for this particular painting, okay? Nothing wrong with that. If you want to do that, you go right on ahead, but that's not what is anticipated out of this painting, okay? Here we go. Okay, so if you are local, go ahead and check on my Facebook page and check for some of the local events that are happening. I would love to see you there. And if you do come, please stop and say hello. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a little bit of this right through here. And we're going to work on this just a tad. Okay, so let me close some lids over here for a minute. Okay. Let's go back to this bad boy right here. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and work on this right through here. I may regret this since it's probably not dry enough yet, but you know what? You never know till you try. Come right on around here. Curve that out just a little. There we go. Now, I'll get just a little bit of this here. Need to get this front piece. So we're going to go ahead and add just a little bit of the darker to it. And we're going to come over here and go ahead and go to the front, okay? So, like I said, this is still wet through here. But we're going to go ahead and come right here next to it. And we're going right here. Because this is the front part of it. There we go. Alright, so we're going to let that just sit for a second. But I want to put just a little, you know, a little brown down in through here. Kind of just a little bit of dimension. Now, when I do this, I'm not just leaving these like that, okay? And again, this right here is where that green is still pretty thick and wet, so I'm going to leave that right there for a minute. And we're going to come down here. Now, I'm going to wipe my brush off a little bit. I'm not rinsing it out, I'm just wiping it off a little bit. And then I'm just going to come down through here and just blend it just a little bit, not a lot. Because I still want to be able to differentiate between the two. Alright, so now I'm going to come down through here again. Pardon me just a minute, I've got to move this fan. I am dying in here tonight. I need a little heat, a little fan. Oh, that should be much better. There we go. Alright. Where was I? Okay, I was down through here. So start here just a little bit. Oh, got a sneeze coming. Pardon me. Excuse me. Okay. Let's go ahead and get some of this out down through here. And again, just, you know, work it till you get it like you want it. Again, remember, fun art, people, not fine art. Alright, so let's go on up through here just a little bit more. And I'm going to, let me come down through here just like this. And I'm going to just whip some of this out through here. And just going to work it a little bit. Go down here at an angle. Come back. There we go. Okay, much better. Now let me go ahead and make this just a little bit more symmetrical. There we go. Now these are all just personal things. Anything that you see, you've got to remember, this is your painting when you do it. So if you don't like something on there, don't do it. It's okay. No one's going to call the, well, they may call the paint police, but it's okay. You just tell them that's how you want it, and that's okay. Okay, so we're going to go a little dark right through here. Okay, just a little bit. And then I'm going to go back right above here so that it stands out a little bit more. But we're going behind that wheel right there, okay? So we're just going to keep adding just a little bit more. There we go. And I know it seems like we're skipping all over the place, but you have to have your paint set just a little bit, otherwise you're just going to make a muddy mess, okay? It's not that I'm, oh, I forgot there, I forgot there. No, I just don't want a muddy mess. All right, and so let's go ahead and go down through here. This is, part of the shadowing because it's on that back side underneath. And I'm just gonna put just a little bit of black right through there. Not a lot. And just add a little bit up through there. There we go. Now, I'm going to work this in through here so that it's not so desperately different. And down through here, we're going to go ahead now. I think that is set enough that I can just dab over the top of that green and not create too big of a mud. Okay, yeah, so I can get that on there and we can work on it. Okay. So let's go ahead. What was that? Oh, let me go ahead and put just a little bit of spray right up in here. And add just a touch. Okay. And some more right down through here. I'm not too worried because there will be flowers down through here. So anything that, you find that, oh man, I should have done this or done that, don't panic because you can cover stuff. You can make it, you can fix it. There's no need to panic. Okay. A little more down through here. Right down through here. Alright, because I have my fan on me, it's going to dry a little bit quicker now. So we are going to have to move just a little faster. Nothing dramatic. There we go. This goes in. A little bit right here. And let's just clean up right here just a little bit. We will have flowers coming out, but I don't want to have to, I have to put a flower there because I've got something there I'm not really crazy about. You know what I mean? Alright, let me clean this off just a little bit. Let's see, there's my little bitty one. There we go. Alright, now we're going to go back in with some highlights. I'm going to put just a little bit more right there. Okay. So I'm going to really twist my brush down through there and make sure it's nice and saturated. So let me go ahead and let's get some of these highlights put on. Just go back through there. Put just a few. Oh, my brush is back into it some more. Okay. So you're just going to put a few, like down here. The sun's hitting that side, so you want to accent that. And just a little bit down through here. And you're not going to go crazy with them. I mean, unless you just want to go crazy with them, then I guess you could. Alright, so here we go. Okay. And let's just, there's a little bit of light right in here. Okay. Alright, let's see. Let me go with just a little bit. Let's see if I can get this on here without messing up. Just right through here. Because it's still pretty wet right through there. So I'm going to test it. Probably being a little too forward right here. Alright, we're going to leave that for a minute. Because I'm really pushing the envelope here, people. Alright, let's get a little bit right through here. I need a little bit of white too. Let me get this a little bit of white. There we go. A little bit better, a little bit more white in there. Instead of just the burgundy. Okay. Alright. Now, get just a little bit more of this here. And let's go right along here. Because, you know, the sun's coming down from this angle. Well, I don't know if the sun, but the light is coming that angle. So we want to make sure that, you know, we accentuate that fact. I'm just mixing a little bit of white, a little bit of the burnt, or the raw sienna. Okay. So we're going to kind of just a little bit down through here. And again, just going back with the raw sienna and a little bit of the white. And it's, you know, just barely diluted here. There we go. Now that I've done that, I'm going to take, let's see, what's this brush? It's not very stiff. Let me see if I can get rid of this. Kind of soften it up a little bit. So I don't want it screaming at me. Alright, so we're going to let those sit and dry for just a second. Okay, now, let me find a little bit of red. And some bright orange. That's a pretty bright orange. That might work. Let's see. I like this orange better. Okay, so we're going to make a little bit of rust on here. Now, you know that rust is not, bright orange, and it's not really red, but we're going to put a little bit of everything in here. Just ever so small. Just right there. That's all the red that's going in there, okay? I am going to use a little bit of this burnt sienna, burnt umber. One day I'll get the colors right. Just kind of mix just right here. I think that's going to be good right there. Let's see. Oh yeah. Alright, so I'm going to dry brush this on here. Let's see. How's that going? Yeah, I'm going to use this right here. And I'm going to take, most of this off. Because that's not, really, I don't want a lot of it on here. You've got to kind of think, where is it going to rust, I don't want that. what's the word? I don't want it that, I want it more random. That makes sense. There we go. Okay, so we're just kind of adding just a little bit here and there. Again, you want to take off a lot of it, and I'm going to add some rust, down here. It's just a little simple ways, okay? Alright, we're going to put just a little bit right through here. And I'll take a little bit of that off because it's a little bit, more than what I wanted. Alright, so let me get just a little bit more of the black in here. And kind of, there we go. Hopefully got a little bit more. And kind of, we want it more rustic. A little bit more down through here. A little brown. And a tired mama tonight here. Okay, a little bit more there. Dab a bunch of that off. Okay, so now let me go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and start the baseline of my flowers. So I'm going to use this right here. Let's see, if I have a second paper plate under here. There's just one. I think there's a second one. Yes, okay. Maybe. Okay, no it's not. So let me have this back way down here. Alright, so I'm going to go super, super light. I'm just going to add just a little bit of yellow to this right here. I mean, just a tiny, tiny bit. There we go. So I'm going to get some white on here. Now remember, when you're doing your flowers, they are going to be extremely loose flowers. They're not going to be, formed petals, etc. They're going to be very light and very loose. Okay. So here we go. And let's go with, so we're just going to go through extremely loose. Now, when I say loose, I'm not joking, guys. Really loose. Because you're going to go back in and you're going to add some more dimension to them. So we're not going to worry too much about, the size right now. This is sometimes size doesn't matter, guys. Okay, that was awful. A little bit more white. Okay, much better. So I'm going to add the other one that's coming in right here. And let's put one right here. Let's make that one a little bit better. Okay. And we'll even have one that fell down right in here. Not that one fall down there. Okay. Okay, now let's go ahead and rinse that out. And we do the same thing with some pink. Let me find a nice light pink. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. And we're even going to take this even lighter. We're going to go just a little bit lighter. Dilute it just a little bit more. There we go. Now there will be several layers of these flowers, so you know we're not worried about the early parts of it. There we go. Oh, that's something I was using. There we go. Alright. So we're going to do the same thing with the pink. Just kind of dabble. You can do as many colors as you want. I'm going to just stick with the pink and the yellow for today. I may add just a smidge of lilac in some of these, but probably won't even do that. Okay, let's see. Let's go one more right there. What the heady hidey ho. Let's just do it. And one more there. Okay, now, I'm going to just lay that right there so I don't have to go digging for it. And I'm going to put just a little of this right there. And then we go with this darker yellow. This is a saffron yellow. Ooh, that one was really excited to get on the canvas. There we go. This little guy here. Now he had some dark color on him though, so I want to make sure it's all done. Alright, so we're going to take this darker yellow and we're just going to make some little swirly dudes in here. Let's just start this angle over. And you decide, how do you want your flowers? You know, do you want just real dreamy? Do you want them outline? I mean, you decide. Now, because this one is more of a hazy picture, I'm not going to worry about the realism at all on the flowers. Now, we will go in, we'll put plenty of greenery to add a little depth. Oh, don't forget this little guy down here. He matters, he just fell. Okay. And this is a thicker paint. The saffron, it's got more body to it, which kind of works out nice because then you can leave a little bit more texture. If that's, you know, how you like it. A lot of people don't want the texture on there. They just want it to, you know, watercolor it. And that's fine too. Okay, so now I'm just going to wipe it off. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to go to the pink now and do the same thing. In the areas where your pink is still nice and wet, you can do some blending if you want. You know, it's completely your call of what you do with it and how you do it. And this one, I'm just going to play in this a little bit. Put just a little bit more color in here. So we're going to mix this one, make it just a little bit darker. Only because we can. Alright, and then I'll go back in with that darker and give it some more. There we go. You just play in a little bit, see what you get. Okay, let's do that here, see what, there we go. Let's, it kind of gives a, you know, a little 3D look in there. Now it won't work too well if it's not wet. But if that's something you want, just add a little bit more paint to it, and it will work. See, like this one's a little too dry, so I'm just going to add a little bit more to it, and it turns out perfect. A little rosy looking. You know, you can leave them more simplistic if you want. You can make them as difficult or as simple as you choose to make them. Add as much color or as little color as you want. See, this one doesn't have much color to it, so I'm going to add a little bit to it. And now I'm going to go back in with the dark. Go back in it. And go back this way a little bit so that it's a little bit darker. Almost left this one down here. Okay, I'm going to create a few more down here. Just so to fill it in just a little bit more. And like I said, we will be putting some greenery in here, so I'm not worried about, you know, the empty spots at all. Put just a little bit more in this one. A little more color. There we go. Okay. Go back to the green, or the yellow. I'm going to add a little bit more to this one right here. I'm not real pleased with how it looks. And then I'll add some of the darker. Okay. Just a little bit more of that saffron yellow. Oh, and there's some out there on the side of the bottle. We're just going to go ahead and use that. And it'll give you, kind of a ruffly look. And I'm okay with that. If you're not, then don't do this method, and it will be okay. It's your painting. Alright. A little bit more of the white here, or excuse me, the lighter yellow, and just go in with just a little in the middle. Okay. A little bit more. Oh, awesome. Okay. A little bit more of this lighter. It's almost a white, but not quite. Okay, this one right here. And just a tad. Now I'm going to try, and I don't know how it's going to turn out, but that's okay. If I don't like it, I can always paint over it. I'm going to try putting a little bit of pink in this one right here. And let's go back with a little bit of the yellow around the edges. And I do like that. So I'm going to leave it, but I'm going to put just a little bit of white in the center. And kind of blend it in through some of it. There we go. Alright, I see one that needs some love here, so we're going to give that one a little bit more attention. And I'm going to try with some pink in the middle of it. Beautiful. Alright. A little bit more. And let's just go with a dark yellow here. Alright, now we're going to let those dry for a little bit. This one down here is a tad bit more love. Okay. And while we do that, just a little bit. Let's see. I really want this one. Let's try. Looking for one of my days of that one right there. I'm going to go with just a little bit bigger brush for this because otherwise we would be here all night. Let's see. And we're already at an hour, so let's try to wind this up just a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to go through and just kind of add this in here. I'm not really going to worry too much about it. You know, I will come back in here and make some leaves, you know, in a few minutes. I will. So, like right here, it's a big gap. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of fill it in some. Here's a big gap right through here. We want to make sure that there's not too many gaps in here. You don't have to fill everything in, you know, with the green because we're going to go through with some other colors as well. But you do kind of, you know, want to add some depth in there. So we're going to go ahead and go with the darker green first. Just kind of not going, you know, all leafy on it yet. Okay? Just kind of get some in there. There we go. And normally I would paint the leaves on first, but because we're doing such pale, I didn't want to try to, I mean, we would have to add so much paint for it to not come through that I didn't know that it'd be worth it. So this, maybe I may have made a mistake on this route. I don't think so. I think we'll be okay. It is going to be a little bit more time consuming, but I mean, I'm not going anywhere right now, so we're good. Alright. A little bit more. Like I said, we will put some leaf in here, but we're just giving it the illusion of leaves right now. There we go. How many of you have signed up for the Van Gogh exhibit in your town? I don't know if you've seen it, but if you have Netflix and you've watched, I don't know which episode it is, but there's an episode of Emily in Paris, and they showcase that in there. in one of the episodes, and it just made me more excited about it. There's a waiting list in the Metroplex nearest me, because I live in a smaller area. I moved back to my grandman, both of them. I'll be around them. They're worth it, guys. They're pretty freaking sweet. But anyway, the Van Gogh exhibit. If you have the opportunity to go, you've got to see it. At the very least, go. It's in one of the early episodes of Emily in Paris. It's beautiful. You're walking through Starry Night. And if you don't know, Starry Night was when he was losing his mind and he was in a sanatorium, excuse me. That was what he felt was his view from his room. And that's what he got. Starry Night. That was his version of what his room, or what it looked like outside his room. So, yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. There's a little trivia going on there. I won't charge you for it. That's free. Alright, so now I can get some wispies in here. I want looser strokes on it. Okay. So we're going to go down through here. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and put just a little, so small amount of raw sienna. There we go. Let me out right the first time. Okay. There is my little bitty brush. There. Alright, I'll put some raw sienna right here. And we're just going to take it and go through. There we go. Just a few little wispies in here. Okay. I'm trying not to stick my sleeve and everything. Alright, let's get another green. Okay, let's see. How was that? That would be a good one. It's light, but it's not, a waste. There we go. Let's add some leaf in with this. Excuse me. So, like I said, we're not adding, this is not going to look like something from your garden. It's not. This is just a loose interpretation of flowers. And you can tell, yes, they're flowers. Is anybody going to mistake it for a photo? Nope. Unless they got their beer goggles on. And I don't think, that's going to be an issue right now. Alright, so you're just going to continue to go through and you're going to make some little leaf shapes. You're not, just make some color variations up through here, okay? You can make a few little leaves here and there. But more than anything, you're just making sure that there's color through there so that it doesn't distract from the beautiful flowers you made. Don't try to overthink it, just keep it simple. There we go. these I'm just going to go through and give tiny little highlights just to add a little oomph to it. I'm not going to do every one, and I'm not going to go through, you know, every single flower here and make sure that it's perfect, but I am just going to make sure that there's nothing but flowers and leaves showing. I don't want the gray to come through so much on the back. You know. If there's a little spot, I'm not going to cry. I really am not. I hope you don't. So just go till you are satisfied with it, okay? And I'll be honest with you, I usually will come back the next day and I'll add some more, because I'll find something else that, oh, that dried and I'm not crazy about it. You know, something like that. Okay. I'll let that dry for just a second. Okay. Excuse me. All right, so I'm going to take just a little bit of white. I'm running out of plate room here. All right, gotta get another plate. Actually, no, I'm not. We're just going to go right there and hope we can keep it where it needs to go. Okay. A little bit of white. A little bit of raw sienna right there next to it. On there. Excuse me. A little bit of the phthalo green here. Let's see, just that's more than what I need, but it's okay. So we're going to go ahead and mix this through. Woo! Almost lost it. Here we go. Alright. And guys, if you ever have the opportunity to take a class on color mixing, especially with oils or acrylics, please take it. Because here I am, not 20 years old anymore. I'm not going to tell you how old I am because we're waiting around on Disney. It's Disney's fault that I'm where I'm at right now. Okay. Okay, a little bit more of the white. There we go. Anyway, you will do yourself a world of good if you do a study on color mixing, and it's, you know, it's not the same as one would think. It's a little bit more difficult. A little bit more. It's still a little bit darker than I want, and I could probably put that on there, but okay, there we go. I'll lay it down so I don't have to work as hard. We're still trying to get this right here just a little bit lighter. Because this is going to go towards the front. I still think maybe just a little bit. No, let's go with the sienna. Just going to kind of tone it down some because it's too, woo, I'm mermaid green. And that's not the green I'm looking for. A little more white. Someday I will get it. Okay. So usually for my paint parties, unless it's, you know, students that I've known forever, or I know have a art background, then I will just find them this light green and call it a day. So that they're not struggling, leaving, feeling frustrated. And these are mine. Nope. brush is able to be filed now. All right. I still, guys, I'm just not happy with this color. I'm sorry. It's just not satisfying me here. Okay, that's a little bit better. I'm gonna add some of this green there. Okay. So we're gonna go through here. And we're just gonna kind of get some of this lighter grass to the front up here. Just, nothing too, just a little bit of lighter grass here. This just is kind of going down the front a little bit. And then I'm going to go back in because I need a little bit more of a shadow under here. So I'm going to add just a little bit of brown here to use. But see, up and through here, this should have just a little bit of shadow. Not a lot, but it's underneath the wheelbarrow, so I'm just feeling like it should be a little bit darker up in here. Okay, and I don't want to, not a whole lot, but some. I mean, the sun's been working. It should have something up in there. More into here. This is where the shadow would be. And down through here a little bit. And again, I'm just adding a little bit of brown through here because I just want the shadow right up here. Because, there would be a shadow. And let's see, here. Ooh. Maybe a little bit for the handle there, but this one through here there should definitely be some shadow for this. And it's, there's not really a, oh, you have to have a shadow right there kind of thing, but I'm just trying to think. How would it be right through there? I just think the green would be darker. Okay, there we go. Just a little bit in through here for the handle. There we go. All right. So, let me just see how I'm feeling about the leaves up in here. And I may need to touch up in a few spots. Okay. More down through here. But this is too big for that. Okay. Alright, let's see. So now of the umber. Oh, I don't have enough on my plate to do that, so I'm just gonna, oh no, okay. I'm just gonna use the tip of it. I'm gonna go in this raw umber, and I'm just gonna add some depth like this one here. And I'm not going to do it to all of them, but a few of them I feel like could really use a little woo to it, you know. This one right here is kind of mistreated, it seems. So we'll see. Okay, now I probably should leave it well enough alone, but you know, I'm just gonna be real with you. That's not who I am. I gotta keep poking the bear. Alright, so like over here where I kind of went onto the green, or the green went onto the red, I'm just gonna go in just a little bit so it doesn't look like, oh, she tried to go around it and touched it. Okay, so I did, but I don't want it to look like I did. Okay, let's go up here. There we go. This one here could be a little bit more loved. Just kind of go over. Oh yeah, much better. Okay, I'm feeling better about this now. Let me turn my canvas around because I'm like dragging my arm and my sleeve all through this. Okay. I promise I will at some point have some extra time and I will come out here and put everything back up and reorganize. Okay. Yeah, see, like running through here, I don't want it to look like, you know, I was trying not to get the green on there, even though I was trying not to get the green on there. That's not the look I'm going for. Okay, let's see. A little bit more into here. This one. Oh yeah, that's a good definitely. I'm going to go back with some of the hot pink as well, just to kind of get it going. So Friday, we had my baby girl's recital, dance recital. She was so excited, so proud of herself. And that made me feel really good because she's a one in a million kind of kiddo. Very sweet, very loving. She's on the spectrum. And so she has a difficult time making friends because she's, you know, a little different, and that's okay. She's very unique. My goodness, is she a doll? She is such a sweet kid. She's got a heart of gold. Alright, let's see. This right in here. Here. Alright, now I need to get just a little bit of the hot pink. So see, just a tiny itty bitty dab here. And we're going to go back and, you know, love on some of those a little bit. This one definitely needs some love. There we go. Love. Over here. A lot of love up here. Some love over here. Right in here. Okay. Okay. So we're going to leave these, or we're not. too, because it's driving me crazy. Alright. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to leave the flowers alone. Okay, I promise. Sort of. Alright, and we have to go down here and finish this bottom. Now, for this bottom, you have to get kind of a hazy, little flowery kind of look. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not the best at this. This part kind of kicks my butt every time. I'm never able to capture the look that I'm wanting, okay? Alright. This just a little bit drier here. So now we gotta go through, and we're gonna try to do kind of a hazy look through here. And like I said, this is not my forte, but we're gonna try it. I mean, the worst thing that comes out of it is then it's not what we wanted, okay? So let's just try it. Give it the old college try. Alright, so we need a little bit more white. Let's see what we can come up with here, see what we can establish. I'm going to use a round brush for this part of it. I know I had one in here. I thought I had one in here. Seriously? Oh, it's right here. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's still got color in it. Guys, it's late. I'm being real with you. This part right here has stumped me every time I've done this one. Alright, so you're going through and you're just kind of making, you just want kind of hazy here through here. And you don't want it, you know, it's a lot of white through here. I'm just going to kind of go through here. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of this part of it, just because, one, I suck at it, and two, I'm just not good at it. I suck at it. So, just sit a minute. I'm going to go back with my little bitty brush. I'm going to go ahead and get just a little bit of the burnt sienna. And I'm going to kind of mix the grass up just a little bit, because I'm just not, you know, it's just not what I want to do. Okay, so I'm just going to just a little bit. Yeah, so anyway, so you're just going to go through here and you're going to work on your grass and you're going to get it just like you like it. You know, however it is you want it. There we go. Okay. There you go. Now, you can go in, and I like it this way. Just take just a tad bit of the white, and pretty much get it all off. And then just a little bit more off than that. And just kind of give it just like a little highlight here and there. And just kind of brush it in just a little bit. Again, take it off as much as you can. Alright. So ladies and gentlemen, there you go. And we are done. There you go. Alright, y'all have a great night. Again, my name is Tiffany. Please like, share, comment, engage.